Hello and welcome to 4,000 and Counting. I'm Watty. This is Mark. Second video of the day. This time we're coming with our NIHL National All-Star team. We're going to kick off with the goaltenders. Mark, let them have it.
Right, our goaltender of the year, of course, is in there. Sam Gospel, 52 games, 2.51 goals against average, 0.921 save percentage. And backing up
Two trophies.
two trophies.
That's the important one. like,
uh,
sorry, mate. Yeah, go.
second position. What the fuck am I on about? Our second goalie will be Zamozra, 54 games, 3.10 goals against average, and a 0.915 save percentage.
Mr.
And
Consistency, isn't he?
great. Yeah, great. No mind.
It reminds me a bit like when Metzi was in the EPL. He was like 91, 92, 91, 92, 90.9. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like in and amongst that save percentage every year, you always know what you're going to get. Two fantastic goaltenders, and there's plenty more fantastic British goaltenders. So don't all go out and sign fucking imports. There's plenty of good British goalies out there. They're just the two that we've named. We could list off. We could list off an absolute. We could list off another 10 guys. There's been so many guys that have had very good years, but
Yeah.
they're the two for us. Let's get down to the D men now. Obviously, we've done it a little bit differently from how the league have done it. More similar to the NIHL All-Star team that we kind of picked earlier on our YouTube video. If you haven't seen that one, we'll link that in now. That was an NIHL All-Star team to take on an Elite League team. That's a little bit of a different lineup than this, but we're going to go to our D men, and I think this man has been exceptional this year. He's been incredible for Peterborough. His point production's been through the roof, and that's Mr. Tom Norton. Norton has been exceptional.
Yeah.
What's his stats for me, Mark? You probably got him right there.
14 plus 37, 51 points in 54 games.
Yeah, almost a point a game from the back. That's very good going. Next up, we have, funnily enough, on the bottom place, Hull Seahawks, but there's no doubt of the role that he played this year. He chipped in with good point production, probably 8 or 9 fights as well. Veteran leadership was crucial to what they were doing up there. Is Declan Barmer, and Deck is already re-signed for them next year. We had Matty on. Matty spoke about the importance of that, and yeah, he's very hard to play against. He's a prick to play against.
Great, I love him. What a man to have.
Yeah,
He's got
absolutely.
everything, hasn't he? He's always a fan's favourite wherever he goes. He always gets involved with the rough stuff, like say, he drops the gloves a fair few times or when he can. Doesn't back down from anyone. Don't think he ever has.
No, it's not his game, mate.
And he's performed very strong on a whole side that didn't have the best of years for a number of reasons. Great re-signing for next season. So yeah, big news for Hull there, and yeah, he deserves to be in our team for his style of play as well.
Yeah, suits the 4,000 and counting game. Let's go to a dog, and he was actually named in the NIHL first All-Star team. It is Ben Morgan. He's been lights out again. Obviously, we get a lot of streams. We get to see Sheffield probably more than anybody else, maybe Byron Basingstoke for me. And he's class every time you watch him. I love watching his Instagram stories. Old man fucking battered and bruised after the games. He's got ice packs on every bit of his body where he's been hit with 40 pucks. But we better find out more about that, because Morgs is going to be one of our guests that we've got coming up this summer. So stay tuned for that one. Dogs fans, you're going to love that. And we're going to get into some story time, because the Steel Dogs boys, they love the story time. So that'll be fun. Next D-man, Mark, who we got?
I just want to say Morgs, if we didn't put him in this team, then we just scrapped the thing altogether. If he's not in your D-man list, there's no credibility with our
especially picking 6 D-man. Like there's no way that he's not in it. He's too good not to be. And I imagine they'll have him back next year if he wants to be there, and he'll just continue to go from strength to strength. He's in better shape than half these young kids ever will be.
Yeah.
Ever will be. And obviously running a family and a full-time job and everything that goes along with it, staying in shape, and just an ultimate professional. Speaking of ultimate professionals, go from one to the other. Sami Zajac, double trophy winner this year. He had his injuries. Another guy that's not afraid to mix it up and battle, and he'll always do what it takes to get that victory for the team. Absolute stud and a big time beauty. So Sami Zajac takes our fourth spot in the D. Huge player, that he's not very huge. It's
Yeah.
just a little guy.
No, just fucking makes up for it in toughness for sure.
Oh yeah, like fucking fighting Guy Lepine and people like that. Like, you gotta love Sammy. It's just that northeast toughness, mate. They just got it built in there. The next D man comes from the Milton Keynes Lightning. Had an exceptional year. I think 40 points, Mark, just about there or thereabouts.
39 points, 6 plus 33 in 55 games.
Yeah, so Mr. Edward Nags. Nagsy, very, very good composure on the puck. Transitions defense to offense very well. Gets the puck out of his own zone and up the ice. Gives the likes of Stewart and Wallace, Norris, Talbot more time on the puck. And for me, that's exactly what I want my D man doing. He's an exceptional talent. Scored a lot of points from the back and deservedly so. Takes his place in our All-Star team.
Can't argue with that one. I think I hate to say this, we say this all the time, but he does go under the radar. So I'm glad that he's in our team.
Yeah, he's an exceptional talent, and as is the next young man here. Phantoms were quick to get him back on board for next year. It's Bradley Bowron, exceptional year for a young man at the back there. Point production, I think, almost quadrupled compared to previous seasons. Mark, what's his stats there for him?
10 plus 33, I think.
So double figures for goals, a goal every 5 games for a D man. You know, he's popping up with a couple of goals a month. That's good. You need that. It's without import D men, when you've got Norton putting up that many points and Barron putting up that many points, it's no wonder the Phantoms were in and amongst the mix come down the stretch. That's why they won the trophies as well. You got good D, and then it makes a big difference when it comes to winning trophies. Let's go on to our forwards because we got 9 of them to go through, and we will start with a man who's had a fantastic season. He's really gone from strength to strength in with the Leeds Knights this season. Cole Shudra over the 100-point barrier alongside his teammate Kieran Brown. He kept up with Kieran in the points race all year. We heard how pumped Kieran was for him that he broke that 100 points and that. So it's a good camaraderie they got there. You couldn't have one without the other. So obviously Brownie's going to be in that all-star team right alongside him, our player of the year. And then we've got the man of the moment, scored a goal in the semi-final for Belfast Giants in the Elite League this weekend. Shawnee Norris getting it done for the British boys up in the Elite League.
Incredible.
Last 3 players, mate. No one was ever they weren't in doubt, were they?
Never
in doubt.
Never.
Surely
113 points for Shudra, 121 points for Brown, and 76 points for Norris. And he played 11 less games than the other 2 boys named there.
Yeah, and he also was part of a treble winning Belfast Giants team.
Did incredible there, didn't he? He wasn't just there getting ice time; he was there proving a point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like he looked good in the cup and not in the cup, sorry, in the league. And then he was obviously there for the cup celebrations and stuff. I don't think he iced in that game, but then to play in the semi-finals, score a goal, got to speak to him afterwards. It was pretty cool, and I was buzzing for him. And obviously in that same game, Jack Hopkins scored a goal. So the British boys coming up trumps, which you love to see in the Elite League. Hoppo scored a goal the next day as well. So yeah, it's good to see these young boys getting their opportunity in the Elite League and taking it. Glenn Billen, we've had him on the podcast in the lead up to the Cup. Just a lovely kid and a great hockey player. 82 points this year, I believe he had there or thereabouts.
79, 22 plus 57 in 55 games.
Yeah. Plus, obviously, the other cup games and
playoff
games and stuff like that. So, yeah, they're really good year for Glenn. Led Peterborough's team from the front. He's a really good talent. I love his hockey brain. I think when it comes to thinking the game, he could be in the Elite League for sure. We'll just see if it's ever something that wants to take his fancy. I would love to see him go there. This man has been up and down the Elite League a little bit this year. Alex Graham, young guy. He was our young player of the year, 40 goals, 40 assists in 36 games. Actually led the league in points per game with 2.22 points per game, which is ridiculous. He's only going to get better. We talk about him quite regularly on this podcast.
Year on year.
He's just improving.
Yeah.
Once he makes that final commitment and takes that full-time jump and he gets full-time Elite League minutes, he's going to be knocking on that door on the national team really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Really quickly.
I'm surprised he hasn't had a call up to the training camp, to be fair, but like you say, who do you take out? But
Yeah,
his
that's always a
talent
hard.
is,
That's always a hard bit on it. Yeah, I
but he's
think
got the
probably
talent.
establish himself a little bit, and then he's going to be right there. Speaking of established, these next couple of Swindon Wildcats, well established in the league at this point, and they always put up points, and they never take a night off. That's points, points, points. Malasinski and Aaron now. Malasinski run Kieran close all year, even led only like a few weeks ago in the scoring race. Don't know how much like weight these guys put in it, but it's exciting for the fans and for the podcasters and everybody that's talking about the game to see a race like that. What did he finish up with? 118 points or something? It was pretty high.
Malasinski got 42 plus 73, so 115 in 55
150.
games.
Yeah, it's again exceptional points per game ratio. Aaron Nihl 48 goals on the season. I think he finished 5th in the league in scoring.
Yeah,
I mean, he just keeps getting it done. When you're doing that and running a team and make sure that stuff like that goes on off the ice is like going well, to be able to do that and still produce at that rate is phenomenal. And I mean, Aaron's, what is he, 2 years younger than me? 3 years younger than me, maybe? He's like 34. He's got a lot on his plate. To score that many goals is incredible, especially when people know what he's going to do. He's going to come in and shoot, but you can't stop his fucking shot. Doesn't matter if
he's
you know what
like
he's
the
going
He's like the
to.
Ovechkin style of the
Yeah,
NIHL.
mate, I'd watch
He
him do a
really is.
practice. His release is phenomenal. And we talk about Connor Bedard, how good this guy's going to be. A lot of that's down to how good of a release he's got on that epic shot of his. Aaron Nihl scores goals, not because his shot's miles faster than everybody else's, but because he gets it off of his stick quicker. That puck from stick to goal, it's bang, it's off his stick, and that shot's moving. He's just an absolute goal scorer. Next up, after making a step down from the Elite League, where, well, he was part of the clan from the very, very, very start. He then moved down to the National League, and people were like talking about him, talking about guys that went under the radar. Just cheekily went his way through to 100 plus points. Matt Hayward, like, just went about his business. Ultimate professional. You can just see that he's played at a higher level for a long time. The way he plays the game, the way he reads the game, never in a bad position, always defensive side of the park. Proper team player first, i.e., someone, a D-man jumps in, he's there to cover. Forward goes on a forecheck, he's the second guy in to support. He just does the stuff that a smart hockey player does. And like the way he's gone and just absolutely pulverized the points. You can't say anything but good things about Matty Hayward. Our second import.
Definitely under the radar.
Sorry,
Definitely
mate.
under the radar.
Yeah.
113 points in 54 games, and he hasn't even been the talk of the team,
Yeah,
like you say.
crazy.
And
If
he's
if
just
he was on
solid.
any other team, he's other than
Star player.
Swindon. Well, he wins their points race on any other team in the league, and he was the third in scoring on their team. It just shows you how deep they were. Well, I tell you how deep they were. There's one guy that we didn't put in purely because he didn't complete the entire season, and there was other guys that had very good full seasons. But Matt Howlett, the way he stepped in and put up 50 plus points in 20 odd games. He was there and a very important part in the cup and playoff league run in. Obviously, they had no success in the cup, but then they go get the league done. They get Coventry done, and they finish with 2 trophies. He's a must resign for next year, and I would not be surprised to see a few other teams try to get him, but I don't imagine they got much chance. But that leaves one more spot as for our final import, and we could have went multitudes of ways with this one, and we ummed and ahed. We put a guy in and we took a guy out, and we put a guy in and we took a guy out. I mean, like Biz could always be in there. But we went with a new guy to the league this year. And he also was a podcast guest earlier on in the year. 49 goals in his first season in the UK is exceptional. Brendan Walker, just an absolute superstar for the Bees this year. I liked him in the very first pre-season game that I saw him in Basingstoke. That's why we ended up getting him on.
Yeah.
And he scored a very good goal in that game. And I was like, this guy's going to be able to score goals. And I mean, you talk about his teammate, Kabadge, as well. Coach, another guy, exceptional talent.
Solid,
But
yeah.
it's nice to have a new name in the mix. from last year. I think we'd have to go back. We've probably got a few returners in there, but I think it's Shudra's first year in the team, Big Billings' first year in the team, Matt Hayward, Walker.
Nags Barron, we've got a few in
Yeah,
there.
there's a few rookies to the team this year. So congratulations to all the boys that we've selected, and that's not a dig at anybody that's not selected. We could have sat here all day and debated. You know,
It was a tough pick.
Liam Stewart, 44 goals. Like you just start looking, Vladimir Luka, 51 goals. Biz, like 60 assists. Like you can start looking across. There's been absolute lights out performances by guys up and down the country, and we were only picking 3 lines. Let us know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Who would be your team? Put the team in the comments. Let us know. But join us again. We'll be back for the Elite League version very, very soon. Peace.